and welcome to the commentary zone. As you enter the room, please don't forget to give us a little thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, notification bell, tell a friend, come and join us in our live chats. And for those on our replay crew, we'll see you in the comments section. All right, so it's Housewife Friday, and we are recapping The Real Housewives of Durban, Season 1, Episode 10, Uninvited, Episode 11, The Streets, and Episode 12, Say It to Her Face. We're basically at the end of the season for them.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. This actually is this end of the season for them.
So in episode 10, Uninvited, we pick up at Sarisha's boho party. And they're playing games. It seems like Nanku is a little intoxicated. But that's where she announces her trip that she's hosting to Cape Town. But Sarisha makes a comment that every event is a nightmare. And they have had something go off at each and every one of their events. So I guess she doesn't have much hope for Cape Town.
Yeah, she has like zero hope for Cape Town, like absolutely zero.
Lokonko and Mabusi seem to be forging quite the friendship. Mabusi, I guess, is going shopping for a new car, whatever. Sarisha takes her pugs to their weekly dog groomer
Weekly.
appointment. These dogs are pampered. Damn.
So real quick, so it was interesting, like you bring that up because I did some googling up just to get a little more insight on the ladies and specifically their taglines. And Sarisha's is, "I have a billion reasons to like be happy or something. My family and furries are just some of them." I'm like, okay. I'm like, is this a direct tagline? Like this is directly to her? So I googled her. I'm like, okay. Shout out to Sarisha because her man is a billionaire.
Yeah, you didn't know that?
You see, I go into these shows without googling them, without anything. I'm just going off what I see, so I'm not influenced. But then I kind of figured that, but I didn't want to know that until I got to know her. So then I'm like, okay, I watched all the episodes. Let me Google now. I'm like, you sell out to Sarisha. You got yourself a billionaire. I'm proud of you.
No, when they did the description of each of the wives, it's noted who he is because that's why they had all the rumors about her being a gold digger.
Right, but
And there might have been some
I just
overlap with his last wife.
yeah, I ran across that too. But it's just like okay, I like I said, I kind of figured that, but I didn't want to look into it until I got to know her. I'm like, okay, I see why you're the way you are. I like you. I like you even more now. You're Bill. You're yeah. Congratulations. Love you.
She married well.
Yes.
Okay, so I did not know there was such a thing as dog ice cream, but go ahead, doggies. Ayanda is throwing a party to celebrate that she is receiving this international award recognizing her for her career in the music industry. So I think it's fabulous that she's celebrating herself.
I mean, why not? Like, like she doesn't have many people to celebrate her. So why not do it for yourself? Like, no one's going to do for you if you don't do for yourself at the end of the day.
And
So I
her
was good with it.
fashion game has been strong this whole season until she came out looking like a linebacker for the New York Jets or something. I did not like that outfit. If they had taken out the shoulder pads, it would have been fine.
I agree with you.
It just looked weird. So it was the first misstep, in my opinion, that her stylist, Fofo, or whatever his name is, made.
Cool.
Pupo, Pofo, whatever. I don't know. The I don't know if that's how they normally have parties, but that MC seemed a little extra. Um, hold on. Mabusi arrives late for everything. I don't know if she thinks this is cute, but it's getting annoying for me. Sarisha made a comment on it. Um, it's kind of disrespectful to your host if you don't show up on time. But Ayanda doesn't seem to be bothered by it. But then again, she's always late too. They seem to have a good time. Great. Ha ha. We meet a new friend called Brenda, who's friends with Nanku. They're gonna have a get together, like a late lunch, at Brenda's place, and they talk about Tobe and that they haven't seen her. Um, but I think Tobe's gonna be at this event
Yes, Tobakile does come to the event, and Brenda's excited. Brenda's happy she's there.
because Brenda ain't involved in all of that mess.
Right.
Brenda is just inviting everybody to her homes, which it gets me like interested. Like, ooh, okay. Um, let's see. Lakanko has a woman's empowerment event where she only invites Noku, Ayanda, and
And
who
Mabusi.
else? And
Mabusi.
Mabusi. All right. So she only invites those three. And it seems to be like a cool luncheon or whatever. Um, Ayanda Ayanda made like this statement regarding, woman's value and how the break that she took with her husband, and when he came back he said, I now know it's you that I want to marry and build a life together and blah 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 blah. And
Oh,
Nanku, she didn't really like that
yeah.
because Nanku was the break.
Right. Naku was the break, and she was not happy with that. You could see in her face, like, and then she said in the confessional, "Oh, that's a nice story." I'm like, "Ooh, ooh." I was like, "Oh, ouch." Oh my
Well,
goodness.
next we see Nanku with her mom and her sister doing like a spa day or something like that. And she gives them the update on what happened previously at some event. I don't know. I don't really pay too much attention when those three get on the screen. It's a waste of scene. Next we get to Brenda's luncheon. Brenda got a nice house.
Brenda's
Brenda's
doing
a
it nice,
singer. Brenda brought everything, including the rain.
right? And her poet was fantastic.
Yes, I liked it. And then she did her song during the luncheon. But when the rain, they were outside in the backyard, and then the rain
Right.
fell, and they had to go inside. But that's where she was having the luncheon, and I think it was Sarisha who was like, "Oh Lord, whenever we have these shaped tables, it never is good." But she had a U-shaped table, a horseshoe, and Sarisha, KG, and Annie were in one place, and then Lakanko, Ayanda, and Mabusi was in the other
Yeah.
side. And it was just like two different camps.
Right.
And they commented on it. And that was like a little argument before this girl gets up there and starts singing.
I think that stemmed from them not being invited to Lakonko's women empowerment.
Oh, and listen, before when they were outside, did you notice that Tobe was sitting with them and then all of a sudden Tobe just gets up and walks away? I was like, "Wait, where's she going? She coming back?" And then
Right.
Sarisha made a comment about it that she's just separated herself from the group. I actually like her.
Right. I think it's because she and Nonku have severe issues. And in my opinion, Noku is the problem.
Oh, because she feels like she didn't back her up. Let it go,
Right.
girl. You was
Yeah,
wrong.
yeah. Because here's the thing. My whole thing with her is you expected Tobey to have your back, and my thing is this, like, well, she's like, well, Tobey, if you're my friend, you know what's going on. You know what's going on with me, and yada 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 yada. And Tobey's like, basically, Tobey's trying to tell you, like, that's not my deal. That's your deal. Like, I'm cool with
Mm-hmm.
both of you. You handle it. That's basically what she was saying. But she wanted Tobey to completely back her up. I'm like, you're just not a friend. Like, and that's a running theme with Noku. She's not a good friend, and that's just my opinion.
But I don't understand why Nanku needed backup. Like, was she getting ready to throw fists? You didn't need no backup. You're a grown woman, and you was grown enough to have an outside child with this woman's deceased husband. Um, to me, Tobe did not give birth to that child. You did.
Exactly. Like, what was she backing you up for? Like you just said, yeah, one about to throw hands, yeah, one about to fight and throw hummus. So there was no backup needed.
It just like I could not understand why she, like, she sat next to you. That's all the support you needed.
Exactly.
You know. But they're inside and at the meal they bring up this empowerment luncheon, and they want to know why they weren't invited. And basically Lakonko said, bitch, y'all don't speak Zulu, and we didn't want to slow down the conversation for y'all because I don't feel like I need to translate for y'all.
That's pretty much what it was.
um but you know, then we see Mabusi and Nanku, they fighting over Brenda, who was right in the middle of them. Like, how are you fighting over the host? And I mean, not fighting over her, but like having an argument with her in the middle. It was just ridiculous. All right, that was episode 10. Next we go to episode 11, the streets. The ladies are heading off to Cape Town. They are staying at Cable Bay Hotel, I think. Nanku is the host. She is I don't like how she started this off. Everybody is taken to their rooms, but she is given the cards, the key cards to everybody's
Right.
room. I didn't like that when I saw it, because I was like, wait, hold up. Why is she getting all the key cards? How are these ladies been escorted to rooms and they're not given cards from check-in?
Agreed.
Shady. I didn't like that. Um, so she texts all of them and says, put on your sexiest swimsuit and come down to the pool. Ayanda says she ain't revealing her body to nobody. KG wants what did KG want? Oh, I don't even know what I wrote here. Oh my
Let's see,
god.
KG.
Did you hear
Okay.
when Nanku called KG a white woman and not African?
I was like, huh?
That came out of nowhere. Nowhere. I was like, wait, what now? Is this turning into Potomac? Um, Nanku, but KG defends herself and she tells Nanku that when you say that, it's kind of insulting. Um, let's see. Nanku gives out the cards. She gets to Mabusi last, and she says that she couldn't find Mabusi's card as a joke. Mabusi by this point is like, she's thoroughly irritated and agitated, and any little thing is setting her off that Nanku does, because she is feeling betrayed and demeaned by Nanku, and that's supposed to be her friend.
Right. And then, like Ayanda said like an episode ago that we know Mabusi through you, Noku. I'm like,
Mm-hmm. And you know, she gets so upset she walks off. Ayanda wants the ladies to apologize to Mabusi because it's not just Nanku, it's a lot of them that are making her feel unwanted. And let's see, hold on. I lost my place. Nanku says that they can all do it at the games night later on that day. Um, they get to games night. I feel like Nanku should not organize any events or trips,
Not by herself, no.
but she can't even accept like criticism or input. She just shouldn't. She should just try to show up.
Exactly. I agree. Because she
Um,
doesn't plan everything out. She doesn't think about everything. And here's my main issue with what happened in this particular section. She
mhm.
showed up 2 hours late to her own event.
Yep, because the
No,
ladies are bored just sitting there waiting. And then
right.
Mabusi doesn't even show up. The person that you're supposed to be apologizing to, you don't make sure that they're showing up after you've offended them again. It's just weird. It's just very, very weird. The next day they're at breakfast. Nanku went to the supermarket and got her some flowers and some chocolates, the smallest box of chocolates and the smallest bouquet of flowers. You could have gotten an arrangement. You could have gotten the concierge to go out and get you an arrangement.
Exactly.
But you took the cheap route out as usual. And why did you bring that to breakfast? Why not go to Mabusi's room and give it to her and be a woman and apologize to her? And, with just the two of y'all. She just doesn't do things right.
She's not a friend. She's not a real friend. And she, like I said, she's shown this over the course of this season.
Mm-hmm. Sarisha, bless her heart, felt bad that Nanku didn't get a gift at the boho night, but she shouldn't have because she didn't participate in the game, so she should not have gotten a gift. But she still brings a gift for her anyway because Sarisha always trying to be friends with these people, and I don't know why. Um, let's see. Next thing you know, we go to a vineyard where Nanku's wine, the grapes for her wine, they come from. And this I thought was the best part of the episode. This vineyard employs women who are mostly like single moms or low
Mhm.
income, and she explains how they earn their money by the amount of grapes that they pick, and she wants the ladies to help, like the cast
Right.
to help pick. But Nanku, Ayanda showed up in heels or something like that. Like, tell the people that they're gonna be digging in the dirt picking grapes and as a
Right.
competition. People showed up in really nice outfits and you didn't say anything. And it's not
Because
like
when you
I
say you're
don't
going to
think
a
that this
vineyard,
group would have participated. They they would
right.
have.
Here's the thing. When you tell me you're going to a vineyard, you're thinking you're going wine tasting or you're going for
Mm-hmm.
lunch, not to be picking grapes. And for you not to tell them, like, hey, by the way, I'm going to take you to the vineyard
Mm-hmm.
where my grapes come from, and we're going to help the employees pick grapes to help them earn more money. That's what you say. And then, like you said,
Yes.
they would have participated because Ayanda enjoyed herself,
Yeah. And she had on the most expensive outfit out of all of them.
right?
But I think just a little bit more, like everything is done half-assed with Nanku.
Mm-hmm.
It irritates me, and I'm not even there. We see KG apologizing to Mabusi, but Mabusi at this point, she's heard it before. She's just like, oh, okay, go along, get along, kind of thing, but fully
Mm-hmm.
expecting to be attacked again. We see KG driving the tractor with, I think, Annie on it. In the end, it seems they produced 240 bottles with the grapes that they picked. Um, Apparently, Ayanda, who was eating grapes while she was picking them, she picked the most out of all the girls, and because of that, because of their contribution, like Nanku gives an additional 3,000 rand in addition to what they picked to these ladies. I thought that was awesome. I really did. Um, I hope that check cleared or whatever. But you know, I thought it was a good idea. Just a little bit more explanation to your guess would be
Right.
appreciated. Next, they go back to the hotel for spa treatment and dinner. The spa treatment was in the dinner. I was so confused.
So remember, they were having a whole conversation about something. What was it? They were talking. Oh, I think they were talking about something with Ayanda was feeling some kind of way a little bit that her friends weren't there for her mother's funeral, but sent invitations to the funeral. So she was just having a moment because of missing her mother.
Mhm.
People were telling her we did reach out, you didn't get back to us. We understand. So it was just a whole moment, right? So then I believe Ayanda leaves the dinner for a little bit. They discuss. Ayanda comes back, and from there, what happened was Nonku was feeling some sort of way about something. I wish I just
You
I wish
know
we
what
could
it
play clips,
was?
but I don't
The
trust Bravo.
before they got to Ayanda, I think it was hold on. Annie questions Nonku if she considers Annie African because of her skin, right? And
Okay,
they go back. That was the segue to go back to the empowerment event that they were invited to, because that's what Nanku says.
there we go.
Y'all can't speak Zulu. Just deal with it. But
And that's
Lakanko
when
tries to
that's
jump
when someone
in.
that's when someone said something.
Mm-hmm.
No, she didn't jump in. What it wasn't the fact that she jumped in. What it was is somebody
No,
said something, and then
Lakanko
Nonku
did
said, "Well, I
jump
was just
in
speaking on
and
the."
she told Nanku not to speak on her behalf regarding her event because Nanku was making it worse.
Right, no,
Mm-hmm.
right, but Nonku before that said like, "Oh, I was just speaking on behalf." Oh, you know what? She said, "I was just speaking on behalf of the Congo." She said, oh, "You should not do that."
Exactly.
That yeah, it was. I wish I could. Like I said, I wish we could play clips, but we don't trust Peacock or Bravo over here because like
Yeah.
they like to strike people. So because
Yeah.
I would love to replay that scene because that's what happened. Like the Congo was not happy about that. She's like, no, like don't speak for me. I don't need anyone to speak for me, and I agree
And
because no, who made it worse?
yes, because Nanku has been making the offensive comments regarding race or color pigmentation amongst the women.
Hmm.
And Lakanko was like, that's why I don't want you speaking on behalf of me because, I'm not down with those kinds of comments. She can circle the drain with making her poor excuses all on her own. I'll give Lakanko that, but she's not offensive. And
Mm-mm.
non-cool is offensive, especially with the more she drinks. Mm. And then that's when KG brings up to Ayando asking her why she didn't go to the boho event, and that's when she was like, well, my mom died, da 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 da, and I didn't realize until I got to the funeral that none of you were there. And everybody was like, well, we ain't know where it was.
True.
And Ayanda's like, we don't do invitations to funerals. And I'm just like, just admit that y'all don't know her like that to go to her mom's funeral. I don't know. But get this. This is nighttime now. Remember Nonku bought them flowers and chocolate from earlier this morning? This is where she gives them to Mabusi. They're like dead by now, and the chocolates are probably melted.
Exactly.
And mind you, it's a chocolate box like about this big. So it's got two chocolates in there.
At
You could
most three.
keep that. You could keep that. Let's see. Um, Mabusi just oh, Mabusi is a mess. She accepts the apology, right? But she says, I'll accept that apology, but yesterday confirms to me what she heard in the streets about Nonku. And Nonku's like, wait, what? And can you blame Mabusi though?
No, because she just all she said was, "This is confirmed from what I've heard,
Mm,
and that you're just not a real friend."
yep. And then
And
I think this is where Ayanda just gets up randomly, and that's all the notes I have from this episode.
but then we do have to go back to the part where not Mabusi, Nonku and Annie have their treatments in the middle of dinner, and then the other
Mhm.
ladies start talking about it. And Ayanda did say, like, if she was a real host, she wouldn't be doing that. Then for some reason,
Mhm.
Hamotu KG gets offended. I'm like, why are you getting offended on behalf of somebody else? That's ridiculous. And then that's when she said, like, I'm not afraid of you. I'm like, oh.
Yes.
Out of nowhere. And yeah, Ayanda got up and said, "What?"
Yeah, saying you need not say that to a Zulu woman. And I was just like, wait, what's going on here? What's going on here? What happened? So I know we get a lot of people in replay crew for this show. If you could just explain what happened there, we would really appreciate it because why would she say that she's not afraid of her? Why did Ayanda take so much offense to that? Were they gonna
Okay.
fight? Because to me,
So,
they were saying that Nonku wasn't a good host because they were waiting for food. It was cold, and the host was nowhere to be found because she was off talking with somebody in the treatment room.
mhm.
And it was Annie. Yeah, she was off
It was
talking with
Anthony.
Annie. And Annie was saying, "Oh my gosh, she's really opening up to me. This is she was impressed by the vulnerability that Nonku was displaying. To me, I thought it was just attention seeking. But there was a whole showcase showdown going on down at the dinner table. And I lost a little bit.
Because KG was talking about, well, if you're gonna say something like that, say it to her face. Say it to her face. And yeah, I think Ayana was like, yeah, I have no problem saying it to her face.
Mhm.
And she's not here though. So KG just got kind of rowdy, and then she's like, "I'm not afraid of you." Da, 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 da. And then Ayana got up, and then like, so where I'm from, when you say you're not afraid of someone, it's
Mhm.
like waving a red flag in front of a bull. Like you act like you want to do something. That's what it
Right,
was.
but my thing is I think we're missing something there. I
No,
do.
it was. I think it's. I have a feeling it may be something between the cultures. So that's why we need someone to explain it to us in the comments. Like, hey, is there something culturally um, off?
Because it does
I'm
sound
going
like
back.
fighting words. It does sound
I'm
like
going
fighting words,
right, and
but
I'm going back to. I want to go back to. Remember when? Oh shoot, they were talking about KG not speaking Zulu well, and she got
uh-huh.
offended, and they asked her, "What are you?" And she kind of hesitated a little bit, and she said, like, Swana.
Right, but
So I mean,
she also said that she can understand Zulu because she's married to a Zulu man.
right. But what happens is when she speaks Zulu, it doesn't translate from one dialect to another the way she thinks it does. So
Uh-huh.
when people are native speakers and they're speaking, they know the ins and outs and the synonyms, all the
Colloquialisms or all of
thank
that.
you,
Yeah.
thank you. It can come across wrong, and that's why they tell her you don't speak Zulu like that, so don't try. So
Well,
instead, I
why
think
not
instead of
help her?
because they don't like her, and she thinks, and I think in their mind she thinks the way she's gone through the season, she's kind of acting like she's better than, and like she's kind of they think of her as a know-it-all, because I remember in the confession where they call her Miss Opinionated. Like you're supposed to tell her this. Lakonko supposed to, I think it was Lakonko supposed to tell KG to stay out of it. Miss Opinionated. They're tired of her
Mm.
like always jumping into the mix for no reason.
But that's what a housewife's supposed to do.
Right. But I do think you
And a
know.
lot of the things that she comments on have to do with her business.
Right. I
So,
think she's tired of her. I think that's what happened. I think that's what happened. So I think it stems back from a
do you
combination
think they
of
look down on her and that's why she said, I'm not afraid of you? Like, I'm going to speak my mind around you all no matter what? Do you think like they see her because like she's a purveyor of services, right?
mhm.
That in my mind, she's a business owner. But I'm wondering if they're looking at her as a purveyor of services as opposed to a business owner.
I think they look at her as a know-it-all. I think that's where it stems from the most because she will jump into any like argument that doesn't concern her, and they don't like it. They feel like stay in your place. People talking to you. That kind of
See,
vibe.
I think it's a little bit more too, because I think that there is a bit of a hierarchy playing out here, especially
Mm.
with Ayanda and Lokonko. I feel like they feel you can't talk back to me. What I say, go. And I think it's like an age thing, an
I,
experience thing,
okay.
a societal thing. There's
Mm-hmm.
like a lot of different levels here, and then you throw in the colorism thing. It just leaves me wondering what the hell's going on here.
I agree. It has to be more. It is more. And how can I put this? I wonder if they look at her like without your husband, you are nobody.
Could be two. Could be two. Cause like the to be quite honest, the only living husband here that we actually talk about that really you can't touch is Sarisha husband. And I say that we can talk about because it doesn't seem like we can talk about Lakonko's husband because he's a whole president. That should be something we can talk about, but we aren't. She just says Google me. But Sarisha's the only one here that if anybody should be looking down on somebody, you could say it should be her, but she doesn't. She tries to be friends with everybody. I don't know. That whole argument there was a little off-putting to me, and I felt like I was missing something. So if anybody's watching this later on and understands what's going on, please, please, please put in the comments. We've learned a lot so far throughout the season from some of our replay crew, and we appreciate you, and we hope that you could fill us in on this one. Um, Next up, we're on episode 12, Say It to Her Face. So we're back at this dinner again.
Okay, so here's the thing. I just see my notes and I mixed 11 blends right into 12.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was like, I was looking at my notes, I'm like, oh, this is where the dinner and all that comes along.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. My
Yeah.
bad. Sorry.
No, it all leads into everything. So we could just skip that first segment because we've basically discussed it. It's the next day, and they're going zip lining. Ayanda is wearing heels. Now she knew that they were going zip lining. Bless Ayanda's heart. Um, Sarisha, it says that she's scared of heights from the start, and she's not doing it. She's not wasting anybody's time. Um, Mabusi is also scared, but she gets suited up to go. The ladies do it. They have a wonderful time. Mabusi backs out at the last minute. Um, I'm a little scared of heights as well, but I have done zip lining and it is amazing. Recommendation is the first zip that I did, my eyes were closed, waste of time, but I pried them open the second time because I had to do four four or five zips to get from one section to the next. It was a small
Gotcha.
one. And keep your eyes open. Look at the beautiful canopy of trees or wherever you're doing the zip lining. Don't miss out on all of nature's beauty. That was my PSA for that. Um, let's see. Ayanda actually did it with a guide because she got scared. I would not want to double the weight on a zip line because I'm already fluffy. So, I'm gonna just go by myself. Eyes open or closed, I'm gonna just go by myself. Thank you. Um, we see Ayanda and her brother comes over and Lakanko joins them. And her brother, Pofo or whatever his name, Puff Puff, he's a shit stirrer.
Yes.
He's a shit stirrer. But he entertains me. I like him. There's something about him that's a little quirky that I like. Um, we see Nanku meeting with a famous chef about tonight's dinner. Sarisha goes over to KG's room. And they saw that Mabutsi put them bum ass flowers outside of Nonku's room on the floor. She returned to sender. Whoops.
Oh well, that's how you feel. That's how you feel.
Um, they talk about the dinner from last night, and KG felt like she was being ganged up on. Maybe that's why she said it. Hmm.
It could be, but here's the thing: you can't feel ganged up on when you're inserting your opinion everywhere. Like people have the right to respond to you.
Mm-hmm.
That's
True.
how I look at it. You
Mm-hmm.
know you can't jump in the middle of everything and then get mad when everyone responds because you're jumping into everything. So people are going to respond to you. So you just kind of have to take it for what it is.
Mm-hmm. They jump straight to dinner, and Chef Siba is attending the dinner as well. Nanku goes around the table saying nice things about everyone. Um,
Okay, I have to stop. I have that in my notes.
uh-huh.
I just rolled my eyes when she did that. I was like, "What
It
are you
wasn't genuine,
doing?"
that's why.
Are you? Oh, I was looking at her like, "Are you drunk again?
I
Like, are
think
you okay?"
Nonku is trying to get camera time. That's how it's coming across
Okay,
to me.
okay.
The
There.
scene at the spa the night before at dinner when she was with
Mhm.
Annie, that was trying to get camera time.
Okay.
She's figured out, how to do it, and this is what she's doing. I think the drinking is also a way to get camera time. um I think what she did to Mabutsi by disowning her, that's just her.
Right.
That's just her.
Exactly.
Let's see. It was cute when Lakonko wanted to toast with her palate cleanser.
That was
Uh,
hilarious.
uh
Now,
let's
real quick
see.
before we move on, what did
Mhm.
you think? Real quick, I want your thoughts on. Did you think KG was being ganged up on?
I think she felt she was being ganged up on because her backup wasn't there, Annie. They usually tag team.
Okay,
So
gotcha.
I feel that's why she perceived she was being ganged up on, and that's why "I'm not scared of you" came out of her mouth. That's how I saw it first. But then I
Okay,
started bringing in other aspects of other arguments, and then she was there by herself.
I'll go. I can go with that.
but I could be wrong. I could be wrong. But we'll find out in the comments section.
Right?
Yes. Um, they wind up going down into a wine cellar. There's a sommelier there who's like giving great information on the wines that are down there, the history of the place, stuff like that. Sarisha doesn't drink. Lokonko doesn't seem interested in what's going on. Mabusi asks Nonku if she's all right. Um, Annie says she saw the flowers. Um, Mabusi asked Nanku if she bought the flowers. So now Mabusi's even challenging whether Nanku paid for them flowers or not. What happened? Are you asking for the grocery store receipt?
Right. She's. I think what's going on is like she understands that Mbusi's not her friend, and Mbusi is understanding that Naku's not her real friend. So since she's questioning that, she's questioning all of the actions towards her from Nonku. So she wants to know, like, was this just something to get over this, get by, or was this actually genuine? Because I think in her mind, if Nonku took the time to go buy them, like, it's like, okay, you're being real with me. But if you sent someone else, it's like, yeah, you didn't care enough to even get this yourself. It's like an effort thing. I think what's coming across, at
Right, but
least
here's
from
where
my
it
end.
fell short though. Here's where Mabusi had the moral high ground with that argument until we found out she returned the flowers but kept the chocolate. No.
Yeah, you
And
can
and to
accept half the
me,
apology.
yeah, but to me, the chocolates would have been the first thing that would have hit the floor, then the flowers, because if I'm not dealing with this person, I'm not
Hmm.
eating from this person.
Correct.
I might be a little bad minded, right? But that's just me. But I'm not eating from someone that I have dissolved my friendship with and I no longer trust. Like, what if she poisoned it? What if she licked it? Like, all of these things will be going through my head. So I'm not going to eat from you. And that's where
I
Mabusi
agree.
lost me.
And and I thought about that too, because like how are you gonna give back one part of the gift and not the other? Either you accept the whole apology or none at all.
Exactly, exactly. And then to Nonku's credit, she didn't take the bait. She didn't get into the argument. And that made me feel okay. So Mabusi realizing she trying to get on this cast full time. So she's picking on Nonku. And Nonku's like, I've had several glasses of wine. I'm not dealing with you tonight. So what? I didn't even see those flowers when I stepped over them when I left my room today. Okay, whatever. Um, the next day, Nonku arranges for all of these guys that have Harley Davidsons, these bikers to come and pick the ladies up, and the ladies are riding on the back of the bikes, and they're going to they're going down to the harbor to board a boat, and they get on the boat, and Lakanko kind of separates herself from everybody. The ladies are all having a wonderful time. They're happy, they're dancing, and they roll the end credits. I did not make notes of the end credits because everybody has a business. They've launched their product, they're doing well, and everybody's successful. The end.
That's what I'll take from it too. Great season. I'm trying to see. Let me go back through my notes real quick. I think we covered everything.
Oh, and we saw you, Ayanda, flirting with your biker escort. I love it.
All
Go
right.
ahead, girl. Get your groove back.
Yeah, we covered. Based on my notes, we covered everything of
Hmm.
importance.
Hmm.
It's just it's interesting. I thought KG and Ayanda would be my favorites. Ayanda's still a favorite, but
Hmm.
KG throughout the season, she's beginning to wear on my nerves because she kept jumping into fights that weren't hers.
Mm-hmm.
She was just misspeaking. She wasn't
Mm-hmm.
listening, and instead of focusing on her business and getting that good clientele, she was too much in the mess when the mess didn't concern her.
See, here's the thing. She did focus on her clientele, Sarisha. Sarisha's friends are more valuable to her as clients than the rest of these people. Okay.
Mm,
Lakonko has a team. She doesn't need KG's services. So with everybody else, she is going to get into the mess. But her clientele, Sarisha, she's best friends with.
I got you.
I
She's like, I got the
think
one I need. So the rest of y'all, I can mess with you.
right. And I think I wonder how her friendship with Annie, since she's always seemed to tag team with Annie, I wonder when she's gonna realize that Annie doesn't really see her the way how she sees Annie, if that makes sense. Because
I
you
got
remember
you. No, I understand.
with the wedding, and she's like, "Why is KG asking me all these questions? Not like she's even invited." That has
Right?
always stuck with me. So I'm just wondering about the fallout of that. The next episodes of the two-part reunion. We'll cover that next week. That should be awesome. This is a nice little season to recap. Thank you, Bravo, for bringing on 3 episodes every Friday night, wearing me out.
Right?
Um, but yeah, I love this. Like, I love Johannesburg. I love Durban. Pearl told us to watch Lagos if we ever get an opportunity. So
Right?
the ladies of Africa are showing out. Love it. But yeah, that's all I got.
That's it. We're good.
All right, y'all. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. We really appreciate it. Looking forward to seeing the comments on this season. And these last 3 episodes. Join us next week where we'll be talking about reunion part 1 and 2 for the ladies of Durban. Everybody have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful weekend. Jamal, have a great weekend.
You too.
Any final comments, notes
This
on
is a
this
great
season?
season. We need season two ASAP because I want to know what happens in season two. Because I've seen some little things here and there where it gets real in season two.
Yeah, it's a bit interesting. New characters. New
Yes, and
characters.
I saw the cast list on Wikipedia.
Mm-hmm. All right, y'all. Thank you for joining us today. We really appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe. We're almost to 1,000. Just, get us over that hump and keep us there, and we won't ever ask you again. You know I'm
And
lying, right?
if there's any shows you're watching that you think might be good, please leave them in the comments and let us know where to watch them, and we'll check them out.
Yes. All right. So until next time, Jamal.
As always, of course.
All righty. Bye.